Hello and welcome back to another, not really a dev vlog, but just an introduction to the game. Chances are if you landed on this page, you're probably interested in hacking games, so hopefully this is the right fit for you, and this tutorial is to basically go over what you will see when you first join the game and to get you familiarized with it. I'm going to try doing all this in just one take, so we're going to just go through when you join, to familiarization with the desktop, so on and so forth. So when you first pull up the game, you're gonna see this. This is just a generic description. They won't let me put anything like hacking into the description. So you're just gonna go ahead and press the play button, and then whenever it joins you, you're going to get your own room, right? So here you are in your own room. You got your desktop computer. These are just models right here, but this is legitimately your router. Like this is all the commands that you send gets into the router, and then this bad boy right here is your actual computer. Everything you do here will go to this computer, which goes to the router, which goes to the greater internet. And yes, there is a greater internet. Those are my dev stations over there. That's how I developed the game. You can walk out here, run around if you want, all that stuff. There's really nothing out here. We're still kind of building the world, so it's not really somewhere that you that's really built out, to be honest. So whenever you're done running around doing whatever, you can come back into here, and you want to walk up to your desktop and then hold E to full screen the game. You're going to get this pop-up right here. It says, don't do anything stupid, like use your real usernames or passwords for playing this game. And then have fun, because you want to have fun here, right? So, really cool, right? This is a fully interactive desktop. You saw I drag that window. Anything that you see in your desktop, you can drag it, except the desktop icons. That will be in the future game version. By the way, this is playtest 2.9.5.1. This is a patch version. 2.9 is a version right before playtest 3, which is coming up really soon. Anyway, so this is your desktop right here. Really cool, right? You can double click on these things right here, and you see that things come up, right? So let me just go through each one of these icons to kind of like discuss what it really does, right? So login info.txt is where you're going to find all of your relevant login information, such as router config, password, email username, email password, stuff like that, right? Also really good stuff to, if you're on someone else's machine, I'd immediately look for this file and grab this up, because you can change someone's router config with it, which is really powerful. These folders right here are just kind of placeholders to kind of display the capability of just showing up folders on the desktop. A lot of the parts of this game are kind of just experimental right now, and just kind of concepts, right? So rate that PNG, rest in peace. This is a picture viewer, right? If they didn't nuke the asset ID for this picture, it would show up right here, but it doesn't, unfortunately. Welcome.txt is just going to be like, hey, welcome to the game, thank you for trying it out, blah, blah, all that stuff. You get additionally welcome email too, which I'll show you in a second. Password crack.txt, if you put any password hashes in there with the username in it, as it's shown in etc shadow, you can save that, run shadowcrack, and shadowcrack will by default look at this file location, anything in it, to crack passwords, so you don't have to like do shadowcrack and then the file path, right? Additionally, you got tutorial right here. There's a tutorial we'll go over in a moment. It's just executable while I launch it, and that's basically everything on the desktop for you, right? Anytime you write to anything on the desktop, or you create new files, folders, etc., all that stuff, this should update. One notable bug though, which we will fix, is the file explorer. If you're on the desktop itself and then you create a new file or folder, it won't immediately show up. You're gonna have to run desktop update for that. Anyway, let's get back to tell you more about this. So you got your display, you got your icons down here. If you want to minimize like you saw me do, just press this button right here. It's like a power button. Let's just go over the quick like taskbar icons right here, right? So you got your mail application. Like I said, whenever you log in, this logs me in by default, by the way. If you own the desktop, you're going to get logged in by default. You see I sent you an email here saying, kind of just introducing you to the game. You do have to pay $40 every 10 minutes to use the power here, so make sure you're actually doing stuff. Don't go too far into debt. In future versions, your power is just going to get shut off, and you're going to have to work at a burger place. So that's pretty sick. IRC chat, right? This right here is pretty cool. You can come in here and say like whatever you want. Ideally, everybody is going to be in this chat. We're not going to have this feature over here anymore. So if you want to talk to the general public, you can do it here as long as everybody's logged in. You can also send them emails too if you know their actual character name, not their display name, but their actual like player name, which is pretty sick. So you can send them like attachments and stuff like that if you want to share files and all that. Really cool features. So that's the RC chat feature. The terminal right here, this bad boy is pretty sick. You do everything with this, right? And to kind of display the flexibility of the windows here, you can come right here to the right, the bottom, and the left. You can drag to resize these. You can drag this around, right? There's multiple. You can click on this to like bring it forward, put it in the back. All this stuff to really help you here. Get your own personalized experience, right? So you can run help. These are all the commands you can currently run in this version of the game. Pretty sick stuff. All right, cool. Now let's go ahead and quickly mention Intruder. This is your Winnie Hunt Jr. version of Remus, which is the actual C2 handler for RevCon. Remus handles all the sessions and stuff like that. So to make it easier, right? Because Remus is actually a command line tool. To make it easier for newer players, Intruder here is going to simplify that for you. So you can go to your tab here, like exploit, choose an exploit, target IP, throw it, change a listening port, look in your collected tab for any new collection, set up your RevCon, install Remus RevCon. I'll go over all this stuff more in detail later, but this is just Intruder. This is what it's for. It's for new players, which is why it's called Intruder. So let's move on to File Explorer. This bad boy right here is how you're going to navigate your file system, so you don't have to do it through the terminal. If you do choose to do it in the terminal, you can do that. Up to you. So to go in and out of folders, all you gotta do is just double click, right? You can come up here to go back, right? And as you see, as I'm clicking on these things, this left pane right here gets full of where we've been, right? So if I go like the John desktop, if I want to go back to root, if I want to go back to John desktop, if I want to go to home, you can do that, right? It's basically shortcuts. All right, so if you want to create a file, like if we're in root, you want to add a file, you can do add text file. Pretty easy. See, it creates a new file. If you want to interact with this file, all you gotta do is just right click on it, hover over the rename to rename it, right? So if I want to rename new file to like something cool, I press enter, you see that it will rename it. Now you have to press enter for these changes to take effect, right? Just so you know that. All right, you can also edit with VPad, right? So as you see, I'm editing something cool. I can blah, 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 save that, open up again, see it's still there. Pretty cool. You can also delete the file too. You can double click to confirm, and then boom, it's gone. Easy enough, right? You can add a text file, folder, picture file, whatever suits you, man, whatever you want. So now let's discuss how to drag and drop, right? So I'm going to add this new file here, and we're going to open it up, put some stuff into it to make sure all of the contents, when they get moved from place to place, are good. They don't get overwritten or anything like that. I'm going to move new file.txt to my downloads. So to properly do this, you need to be hovering over the name of the folder like that, right? And then you see, boom, there you go. And to do that, you have to like hold like this and then drag, right? Hold, lift, click, drag, just so you guys know. If you want to drag or drop between two file explorers, you can do that. So I'm gonna go to temp, I'm going to drag new file into here. As you see, new file got dragged. I'm gonna drag it back. There you go. You can do this all day if you want. Not really the point of the game, but hey man, whatever suits you. All right, now lastly, I'm gonna go over the web browser, and we're going to look at these links.com. Links.com is everything that is important or useful in any capacity to you whatsoever, right? It should be mentioned though, you can find any of these by searching in one of these right here. Find websites, there we go. This is a search engine essentially. You can like search stuff up like VPS. You should see buyvps.com comes up. You can also just click on it right here. Right, I'll get to that in a second. So view your bank account, right? This is the first one. You can look at your bank account. You see I'm currently super broke, unfortunate for me. And it tells you down here like logs, right? So it says, okay, you logged in at this time. And that's not like when you looked at your bank account, that's when you logged into the game. Dark web jobs are hosted right here. So you come here, it tells you your reputation, how much XP you need to level up. And then these are the details for each job. I'll make a separate tutorial for these jobs, and we'll go over that later. and then you can go here to convert your hard-earned mine crypto IDs into cash, right? So if you run a crypto miner on your machine, you can copy all the IDs, put it in here, and make a lot of money. Alternatively, you can also implant multiple devices to have crypto miners and stuff like that if you want to get more money, but you know, it's for you to do. Buyvps.com is, if you have $100, you can buy your own VPS. Really good, highly recommend it, because you can just buy it, destroy it, and then buy a new one if you want to redirect through it, so nobody knows where you're really coming from. It'll give you a bunch of information. I'm too broke to buy one right now. I'll make a separate tutorial, probably through redirection, talking about this, but it'll give you all the information. You can just log in and fully modify it. It's like its own separate machine on the internet. So you can check the news here, right? So these will have all the events, like local intrusions have been attributed to the anonymous network around the city, right? These are hacking networks, hacking gangs, if you will. And new changes to businesses or new businesses will be shown here. All that stuff is very important to keep track of. That's where new exploits will be showing up too, and updated software. So you're gonna go to find websites. So you can use this like we did last time. If you want to do like bad guy, to go through bad guy buys. This is where you can buy info stealers, malware, any kind of malware configure for yourself to just put on the internet, or if you hack like another player, you can like put down their stuff, put down their computer. To be more specific, you buy a credential jump. That's new from this version right here. We'll go over that later. Polices.com is like the black hat jobs but for white hats, right? So same thing up here. Hello, we're too busy, so we need you to do stuff for us. Reputation 0, again, 70 more XP to level up. All right, easy enough, right? And these are just malware removal jobs. Easy enough, nothing too crazy. And then here you got your game wiki. So you got your references, right? You got your commands, tools, exploits, malware, application references, right? Like Sked, right? If you don't know how to use Sked, you can go here. Now listen, really important stuff, really good stuff actually. Commands reference, right? These are all the commands, most of the commands at least. I probably need to add a few more, but you come here, look at how to actually use it, like package, right? And these have everything that you need to know about it, including the options, right? So you could just do like tech H whenever you're actually running the cat command. Like for instance, if I were to do cat tech H, you'll see that it does bring up kind of the same thing right here, but these give you examples too. So very important things to reference, right? I always reference I think it's a malware, yeah. Malware keyloggers. That's really cool. Okay, anyway. So look through that and every good chance. And the current game leaderboard, this is new as of now. You can look at everybody who is currently in the game with you and see who is top fragging. So you get your black hat rep, your white hat rep, and all that, and how much money you got. It's sorted by how much money you have. And we got some pretty big things planned for like catching other players, reporting them, and then having you getting a amount of money for reporting them. You get basically like a cash reward. And then they like lose their black hat reputation or white hat reputation, stuff like that. So these are all new things. Now, I'm not going to make this any longer than it has to be. So this is a basic introduction. This has nothing to do with like actual hacking or using the terminal, stuff like that. I will do that in the next tutorial. So thank you so much for watching. And if you're interested, make sure to leave a comment and we can add you to the game.